Hey guys, it's Pi, and today we are going to be playing Terminal Railways. Now, what is Terminal Railways? If you can read, you might guess that it is about indeed a railway. Now, Terminal Railway, it has been out for quite a long time. I've seen it, gosh, probably more than a year ago, just coming up in my recommended over and over and over again. You might have heard of this game called Elder Terminal. Terminal Railways recently got a surge of popularity, which has died down a little bit this last week. And as you see, this was actually created in 2015, so it's actually been out for a pretty long time. Terminal Railways is one of the few railway games that actually gets it, quote, right. The thing that makes Terminal Railways step aside from everything else is that the trains are beautiful. They're beautiful. The signaling works. Nothing derails and explodes that much. And there's even a passenger system incorporated into the core gameplay. Now, if you go into Terminal Railways, you'll might want to have my recording stuff. You might see this. This is a menu screen. That's right. This game has a menu screen. What is it with all these simulators having stinking menu screens now? Meh. Anyways, I thought about Terminal Railways when I was looking through Simulators X's Twitter, and I highly suggest that you go check him out, Simulators X. He's a really good guy. He does a lot of creative things, and he posts a lot on Twitter. You should go follow him. And also follow me on Twitter, because I'm a sellout, and I want people to follow me. Now, what Simulators X has been doing is he's trying to open up his own sort of railway game, and no, not necessarily open up. He's testing a lot of railway things. He has a tram game which has operable doors and announcement systems, and it's very interesting to see where this entire genre of just trains might go in the very near future, especially with Terminal Railways getting a really big surge of popularity. We're talking 400, 500 people online at one single time. It's died down since then. Now it's at about 50, but then again, I'm not exactly recording this on a weekend, on a holiday, in the middle of the day. One thing about Terminal Railways that I highly suggest you do, come into options and turn off chunk loading. A little bit of lag. Please, turn off chunk loading. It might sound good, but what happens more times than not is that you are in a train that is literally flying in the middle of the air while the game loads behind you and just lags you out. And yes, this game is a bit laggy, although it's probably just credited to my really crappy PC, which is not only having trouble keeping up with the network, but is also having trouble keeping up with the render. Of course, this is while I'm recording, so, no biggie. Here's the FPS counter if you guys ever want to sing. Here's ping. I have no clue what ping is. Without further ado, let's start with Terminal Railways. This is called a lobby, where you get to do lobbyish stuff. This is your fuel division. I love that it's here. So if you like playing in a little more cinematic mode of view, you can turn it in. If you like playing for utility, you can turn it out, see a bit more. I'll keep it on what it was before, which I think it was 60. And I hope it doesn't throw you guys off. Over here, we have all different kinds of stations. You have train depots. You have Eldershire, Lynshire, Northwell, Roslyn, Northwell, Lynshire, Spring Hills, Roslyn, Alyard West, Eldershire South, Lynshire South, Alyard East, Oceanside, Eldershire Central, and Roslyn South. This is the first video game where I might actually not pronounce everything wrong. Maybe it's because it's very English. Maybe. Another thing about Terminal Railways is that you can actually be a passenger. So I can come over here to Lynshire South. Or actually, let's go to the Northwell station, because a lot of people usually come in and out of there. Yeah, see, there's already TGV going by. Now, if that guy had stopped, I could have actually jumped on and rode in his train for a little bit. Which is really cool. Because it's not only a game where you get to drive trains and pick up theoretical passengers, you can actually pick up real passengers Here on the top right, you can see the total amount of passengers you've delivered, how that scores up with other people. I've played this game a lot, more of a stress reliever and time waster than anything else, and it's actually really good at that. Let's finally get into a train. So let's just go to the Northwell Depot, which is right over there-ish. Not that far. Northwell Depot. Over here we have the option to spawn a train. All of these trains on the top. Ooh, that's new. What even is that? ETR 400. I'll have to search this up. ETR 400. Huh. That looks like a cool train. Yeah. I actually had no clue that was just put in. There's a TGV, if you see that right there. A nice French horn. All these trains on the top are free. You can get commuter trains, you can get old freight trains, you can get new freight trains. This one's also new. And these are all made by different people. You've got Derailing on, you've got Red Blocks, Fast Train, Abdul Kelly Abbasi, Zephyrid, who's the actual holder of the game. And you've got Build Into Trains, who makes some really amazing locomotives. New Jersey Commuter. Oh my gosh, there's so many new trains. Okay, what all is new? What all is new? The New Jersey Commuter, that's new. The Northeast Regional got a update. I don't think the Highliner's new. The ETR 500 might be new. Obviously, the ETR 400 is new. The NS 1200 is new. This game is still getting a lot of updates. Sadly, everything on the bottom, it does require Robux. But I have the Acela Express, which is infamous as being the one good American train. The Acela Express, a little bit of background history, it runs on the Northeast Corridor, which is a route between Boston and Washington, D.C. I've actually been on that route myself. It's really pretty, and if you ever have an excuse to take it, take it. It's only about 6 hours, so it's not even that long, and it's a very beautiful route where you get to go over a lot of bridges and through a lot of tunnels, and you get to see a lot of states, and you get to see a lot of monuments as you go around. Highly suggest you go do that. This one is SGM. That one is also new. I'm going to save the TGV Duplex for last because this thing is possibly the best train. Actually, it's hard questions. Let's just start with a whatever this is. I've never tested this out. Oh, got a nice little commuter train. As you see here, this will be our GUI. You better get familiar with it. Blah, I am dying. Up here you have your map. Not the most helpful map, but a map nonetheless. Over here you have your horn. I'm going to imagine this is very British. That is very British. You have... This poor sap honking at me. We don't have a bell on this. You can change your view. No, you can't change your view. You can't open the doors. The interior of these trains aren't... You can carry passengers on them, like I mentioned earlier, but the interior is literally just... Well, one of these cars has seats that you can sit on. Here we have our forward, neutral, reverse. If we put it in neutral and crank it up... Nope, it doesn't do anything. Over here, this will be for passengers. Here's our speed limit. Here's an X, which will delete the train. We can have announcements on. Announcements are on by default. And I just heard my phone yelling at me. Sorry about this. Very professional. Nothing important. For you anyways. You can control the train using WASD, which will control your throttle right down here in the bottom right. And you can actually hear the air brake going on and off. Listen. Isn't that neat? Some of these trains, like I said, have amazing sounds. Some of them, not so much. Also, we can click the seat button, and this will put us in the rear cab, and this will put us in the forward cab. At least that's the way now. You can get a boombox to play custom ID. And if you really want to be trolly, you can click this 25 speed button over and over again, and it will actually make you go literally the speed of light. I think somebody did this and they got up to 680 speed. We have no clue if it's kilometers or miles per hour. I'm just going to guess speed. But I've stalled you guys long enough, so let's put this thing in forward. Let's honk the horn a couple times for good measure. And let's get on our way. Some of these have a little interior cockpit. This one not so much, so I'll be spending most of the time out here looking around. As you see, we got a little beep and the speed limit just went up. This is as soft as it can go. Sorry, guys. Now what we can do is slowly pull into Roslyn. We'll go ahead and turn on the emergency brake so I don't run into this poor sap. You can press E to toggle your emergency brake at any time. As for right now, I'm going to be switching sides so we can go back and hit the signal and take the high-speed route, which I didn't really want to do. Go ahead and floor it. And come back. And we can switch seats now. Go ahead, put the neutral, hit the signal. These things can be hit from very far away, so I could hit it from here, or I could hit it from here, or of course you can wait until you're right up there to go and get it. And of course now the guy's departing. You know what? Sure, we're going in. And I can go ahead, flick the next signal, so we'll go to the side platform. Come in and cruise into Northwell Station, which is one of the bigger ones. Northwell being the most north station. Northwell Roslyn is a popular route. Here's our announcements.
The next station is Northwell. Doors opening on the right side.
Isn't this just great? It's a lot of love and care that went into this. Now, I've heard from many different YouTubers that if you really want to piss off some seasoned commuters, you would not go to the end of the platform. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Nice little, very professional. Boom. And here we go. Down here we have passengers. Each one of these numbers represents a passenger wanting to go to that station. Apparently we have 15 passengers who actually just want to go to Northwell. Odd. If I just stop right now, will they? Nope. That's weird, though. I didn't even know that happened. 46 of our little Timmies, they want to go to Linshire, which is right there. Be careful that some of these have different names. You have Eldershire Central, you have Eldershire South, you have Alyard East, Alyard West, and there's also freight that you can go deal with, although I'm not entirely sure how that one works. Our most popular destination, and keep in mind that if you get a bigger train, you'll carry more passengers, and I'll show off the bigger trains later. So the most people want to go to Linshire, which is bad because Linshire is actually that way, which means either we have to go all the way around, which we could, or anyone want to go to Spring Hills? You know, 8 people want to go to Spring Hills. We'll make them. Oh my. Compromise. Okay, compromise. I don't think you're supposed to go back on this line, and I think that if I go back there, it's not even going to let me go very far. Also, don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but you can control the throttle with W and S. Listen to this. The Acela Express is even more beautiful. While this one only goes up to 125 speed, the TGV Duplex goes up to 320 speed. So imagine that, more than twice the speed of this. Going 320, I've never actually gotten up there. I've gotten to about 310, but never all the way to 320. Which is something that I'll try to do at the end of this episode for the hashtag LOLs. coming across this nice suspension bridge over this nice long river, coming into descent. As far as I'm concerned, the elevation of the track does not interfere much with your engine, although turning definitely does, especially when you're trying to accelerate. Like, I can floor it on this track right here since our speed limit is 130, but if I was trying to accelerate to even faster, it would have problems on the curve. And this is why I went this way, because it's a little scenic route with these nice circular hills. Coming up here, we have a station called Spring Hill, which is what we said earlier, and let's start to slow down. We'll go ahead and pull into the inner platform. Probably going a little too fast. And you see you have some level crossings. Very nice touch. Oh my gosh, am I going to be able to not even take my hands off the brake? Come on, stop, stop, stop! Oh my goodness, I did not even readjust the brake. I never touched that brake after the first initial time. Look at me, professional braking expert. That's me. Ha ha ha. Still, more people want to go to Linshire, but we've had enough of this crappy little train XDDDDD. If we just jump on the track, it'll give us back to the lobby. Press this arrow, and let's go to the other side. Actually, let's go where they all wanted us to go, which is Linshire. So Linshire Depot looking a lot like Northwell. Keep in mind that not all depots are the same. For example, Roslyn is a very big depot, and Eldershire is a little bit smaller. If we go to Linshire, we have a little canopy. Now, what do we want to take? Let's take the Acela Express. Ooh, spawns you all the way up at the beginning. Now, built into trains, keep in mind that not every train is made by Zephrid, who currently holds the game. Look at this thing. It is absolutely beautiful. And I wish that you could adjust the length of the train, because that would make it even more amazing. Just the tiniest little details. This one is also by Built Into Trains, I believe. Maybe, maybe not. It's also got, you know, the Amtrak colors. Just very American. I love it. You just look at the detail. How do they even get the textures to mend and mesh to this? I have no idea. And look, they even have the doors modeled. You can't open the doors, but you can have them very nicely modeled. And up here, just look at this, all this little detail with the catenary thingy. I have no clue what this is called. This is called a catenary. This is called a catenary cable clutch collector thing. Someone's gonna correct me down. And here's what I was talking about with seats below. These little gray pads, they're not in every single carriage like this. You can sit in these, and even the windows, I mean, the windows are on a slant. Like, how cool is that? How cool is that? There's so much detail, and this is one of the trains where you can zoom in all the way, and you can actually get a good view of the beginning, or the beginning of the train, beginning of the track, and what's coming up ahead. Another thing, this is one of the only high-speed trains that actually has a bell. H and B will toggle your horn and your bell. Oh, oops, nope, get back in, get back in. There we go. Let's go ahead and accelerate. This one will go up to 240. And keep in mind, I'm keeping the acceleration slow just because it's more accurate. We're gonna get this up to about 25 speed, and then I'll turn off the bell. Turn off the bell. Thank you. And now approaching Alyard West. You have nice roads, and you can even drive the cars in here, or at least used to until they broke. Not sure when they did, but they did break, and I'll try that off camera right after this. Coming into Alyard West, we can pick up our first passengers. Here are some actual signals. They will change color in turn if people are ahead of you. If you can't go in, obviously we have a green right here, so we can go ahead. Or at least we did have a green. Yeah, that signal just flipped from red to yellow.
right side.
Beautiful pulling up into the platform. We now have a lot more passengers. This is because this is a much bigger train. And especially the TGV Duplex, that thing can take like 300. Also, keep in mind that some trains are longer than others. The Eurostar, I believe, is the longest train, while the first commuter in the top left of the spawning menu is the smallest, or it might be one of the freight trains. I don't know. But let's get a move on before someone comes behind us and starts honking at us. Let's turn on our bell. Oh, too late. Well, I guess I better hurry up. So much for being accurate. What a lot of people do is they'll just come in and pretty much floor it. And I really don't like to play that way, because I just don't feel like it's fun. Also, don't mind that the catenaries just disappeared. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Also, just look. Even in between the carriages, there's so much detail. Build into... Oop, we're going over. That's another thing. Oh, hello, Mr. Train. That is one of the freight trains. Now going the correct speed, and now wants us to go up to 140. Typical. I have no clue what the next station is or where it is. Oh, there's a TGV. Not a duplex, a singular, which is not made by Build Into Trains. Look at how the train just perfectly molds to the ground. It's so beautiful. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Oh no! Oh no! I went too fast. Come on, we can save it. We can save it. Oh, we saved it. We saved it. That was not looking good for a while. Let's go ahead into Eldershire Central. Who wants to come here? One person. Well, this is your lucky day, sir.
The next station is Eldershire Central. Doors opening on the right side.
Go ahead, apply the brake. A little bit too much. I'll actually accelerate a little bit, and I'll just apply the emergency brake. Stop real quick. Are we on the platform? We're on the platform. We're fine. So we got one person on Eldershire Central, which brought up our total amount of passengers delivered from 579 to 580. I know, very, very efficient right here. Now, that's enough of the Acela Express. Let's go to Depot. Let's go to not Linshire. Let's go to Eldershire. This is one of the bigger depots. You can spawn here. Now, what do we want to spawn? I do not have the ICE, sadly. And I do not have... Bleh. I do have the Eurostar. But let's have some fun with the Duplex. This is my favorite game. This is my favorite train in the game. It has 3 carriages. The TGV obviously being infamous for, well, not necessarily infamous, but its reputation comes for its usage in France as being the, quote, fastest train in Europe. I said quote because I'm not entirely sure if that's true, but 320 kilometers per hour. This is very fast, and this is a very good train that is used in France and a lot of the lowland countries. And the beautiful blue is exactly what it is, beautiful. I've even come to love that. How could you not love it? This guy might jump in and be a passenger, although I wouldn't suggest it for him. There's multiple spawners, Einstein. This train accelerates very fast. As you'd imagine, it is the fastest train in the game. Also, Build Into Trains, a lot of detail on the catenaries, a lot of detail on the top of the carriage. Once again... Oh, there's another Acela. Oh, that is ours. That just didn't decide to despawn. Sorry, guys. Now, we're going to have a little fun now. As far as I know, the TGV is the train most unlikely to derail, considering it is the most likely to not derail, and it is the fastest train in the game. I wonder what we're going to be doing today. Now, I feel like I should be inserting a Charles de Gaulle reference right here when they had a train crash there that killed about 40 people. But I really don't know enough about the situation. As an American, I'm way too ignorant to know what happens on France's rails, and I probably should have gone down into the high-speed track, but oh well. Let's floor it.
Sparker Broker, this is TGV number 314. We going just a little bit too fast. Brake's not working. This is a little runaway train. It's about to crash into everything over, y'all. XD, y'all.
Whoop. Did not get that in time. Oh well. Oh gosh, he's not having a good day. That might be the new train. Well, good thing I didn't buy it because it looks ugly. Coming into Alyard West, we might actually pass some of the freight depots, which we can look at later. Oh gosh. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. I don't know how we lived. That's another thing about... Here's the freight yard. That's nice. We're going to go experiment with that later. One problem with the TGV, that tends to happen when you run into another train. Thankfully, it hasn't completely derailed us, or at least derailed the part of us that matters. I'm looking at you, back carriage. I wonder if I go to the back, I can totally go to the back and just watch from here. Look at this. This should not be working right now, but it is. Okay, I should be looking at the front if I need to turn on the e-brake. No, nah. I'm an ignorant American. I can just... Boo! Boo! The game just stopped me because I went on a turn and we half derailed. Okay, we have to try this one more time. You see, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, pie! Indeed it is. We're not just going to overdo it. We are going to overdo it. There's another Acela Express. Ah, it's so nice. I think it's the only nice train in America. I wasn't on the Acela Express when I actually went down the Northeast Corridor. But yeah, it's a really scenic route. You go all the way from Boston to Washington and that whole mega city area. And it actually goes further south into Fredericksburg, I think. And you know, Amtrak. In America, we usually don't travel on trains because Amtrak is awful and delays and... Now, I really wish that train travel is better in America because I'd love to just sit on a train and, you know, just listen to the... and the rocking back and forth and the clicking of the rails and... No, not the emergency beeps. I don't miss that part. I just find it all very relaxing when you're on a train and it just goes over the rail like ka-dunk, 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 ka-dunk. I'm not doing it any justice, but ka-dunk. And I've never actually been on an overnight train in my entire life, which is something that I've always wanted to do. You know, not exactly in a hurry to do it. Oh, look at this guy trying to roleplay.
Sector 704, for Air Central, now departing from Roslyn Depot from Roslyn South, over.
Here, I'll mess with this guy. Why is it in all caps? Because I was too lazy to press caps lock off. And here you can definitely see how your acceleration is mangled on the turns. Thankfully, TGV, it's not going to derail. Hopefully. Other trains would definitely derail in these circumstances, but not the TGV. Coming into Roslyn Station now. Thankfully, a little SEPTA is going for Roslyn South. So we good. Here's another freight depot. I think that's just where they spawn though, nothing else. Coming out on the straight here, speed limit is 200. This is going to take us, I believe it is this line right here, the red. Did I just pass something? No, I'm having hallucinations. Coming into Alyard East, home of the freight trains. Going way too fast right now. 281, passing the depot. Not from the top this time. Speed limit 160. We're doing almost, or we could do almost twice that. This turn might take us. Oh gosh! Ah, I'm sorry, Acela! I'm sorry, Acela! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! No! 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 I have a plan. This doesn't always work with the TGV! Oh my gosh! I'm gonna get myself a nice thumbnail, and then we can wrap this up. It's coming right over here. Come on. Don't be shy. Alright. There's our nice screenshot. Anyways, gonna wrap it up right here with our favorite activity of the day. I'm gonna zoom out, just make sure you guys don't get ear rape. So anyways, guys, this has been Terminal Railways. Like I said, if you want to see more, please let me know. Any suggestions you have, trains, routes, play style, other games, Roblox games, Steam games, Flash games. I do this for you guys. So let me know, and I will receive, or I will give you. Oh, yeah. What? I will give. You will receive. Yeah, it's like a win-win circle. So yeah, you want to see more of Terminal Railways? Right here. If you want to play Terminal Railways, link always down below in the description of every single one of my videos. As always, leave a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. See you guys next time. And I'm going to continue to do this, and if I get up to 320, I will like be on Twitter like, oh my gosh, I got up to 320. But if not, I'm not going to bore you guys with another continuation of what you saw earlier. Alright, see you guys.